Men over 60 do these 3 forgotten steps with coffee for skyrocketing blood flow and vitality. Gentlemen, let's talk honestly. Have you ever felt that frustrating gap between how young you feel in your mind and what your body is telling you in the bedroom? That quiet moment of doubt when things just don't work as reliably as they used to. Now, most men chalk this up to just getting older, or they assume it's simply declining testosterone levels. But what if I told you it has less to do with the number of candles on your cake and much more to do with the health of your body's plumbing, your blood vessels? In fact, a landmark 2022 study published in the Journal of Urology, which followed over 5,000 men, found something remarkable. They discovered that blood flow health was a 40% more accurate predictor of performance than testosterone levels alone. 40%, that's not a small number. This is exactly what I saw with my patient, Robert. He's a 72-year-old retired teacher who came to me feeling defeated. He said, "Doc, I feel like I'm letting my wife down." He truly thought his best years were over, but a simple, science-backed change proved him completely wrong. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and in this video, I am going to show you the one natural amino acid you can add to your morning coffee that supported Robert and countless others. We will break down the simple science, and I will give you a plan you can start using tomorrow. Alright, so now that you understand the real culprit behind so many of these performance issues is blood flow, let's get into our first section. This is the part of our conversation where we talk about the solution. Section 1, the game changer, L-citrulline. The powerful tool we're talking about today is a completely natural amino acid called L-citrulline. Now, don't let the scientific name intimidate you. An amino acid is simply a building block of protein. Your body uses them for thousands of essential functions every single day, from building muscle to creating hormones. And this particular one, L-citrulline, is exceptionally important for men's health. But here's a critical mistake I see so many men make. They feel that frustrating decline in their vitality and they think they only have two choices. Choice number 1 is to simply accept it. To believe that this is an unavoidable part of aging, a slow fade they just have to endure. Choice number 2 is to jump straight to a prescription pill. They see the commercials on television and they think it's the only real option for a reliable result. What they overlook is the third and often most sustainable path. They overlook the powerful nutritional tools that support the body's own natural systems. They miss the opportunity to fix the underlying issue from the inside out. Instead of just applying a temporary patch, this is not about choosing between surrender and a prescription. It's about rebuilding the foundation. So, why is L-citrulline so effective at rebuilding that foundation? Here is why it works. It all comes down to a special gas in your body called nitric oxide. To have a firm, lasting erection, you need strong, unimpeded blood flow. Nitric oxide is the master key that unlocks the blood flow. It is a signaling molecule that tells the smooth muscles in the walls of your blood vessels to relax, to open up. When they open, blood can rush in powerfully and efficiently. No nitric oxide, no strong signal. No strong signal, no reliable erection. It's that direct. The problem is, as we age, our body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide declines. This is a primary reason why performance can become less reliable over the years. Your body still knows what to do. It just doesn't have enough of the key ingredient to do it well. This is where L-citrulline comes in. Your body uses L-citrulline as a raw material, a precursor, to generate more nitric oxide. It's like giving the factory the exact supplies it needs to get production humming again. You're not introducing a foreign chemical, you are simply refueling a natural process that has slowed down over time. And this isn't just a nice theory. This has been put to the test. The study I mentioned earlier, published in the prestigious Journal of Urology, demonstrated this clearly. It was a formal, placebo-controlled study that specifically looked at men who were experiencing issues with erection hardness. The researchers gave one group L-citrulline and another a placebo. The results were undeniable. The men taking L-citrulline reported statistically significant improvements in their erection hardness scores and a notable increase in their overall satisfaction. This provides powerful evidence that supporting your body's nitric oxide system through nutrition can lead to real, measurable, and meaningful improvements in performance. Now, to put this simply, I want you to think of your blood vessels like a high-quality garden hose, and think of nitric oxide as the signal that turns the spigot on full blast. When you have plenty of nitric oxide, the signal is strong, the spigot opens wide, and you get a powerful, steady stream. But as nitric oxide levels decline with age, that signal gets weaker. The spigot only opens a little bit, and you get a disappointing trickle instead of a strong flow. So, what is L-citrulline in this analogy? L-citrulline is the raw material your body uses to build and maintain the spigot itself. It ensures the mechanism is healthy, responsive, and ready to work when the signal is given. The more high-quality material you provide, the more reliable and powerful that spigot becomes. It's a simple, direct relationship. So, how can you incorporate this into your routine, safely and effectively? The simplest way to start is by adding 1 scoop, which is typically around 3 to 5 grams, of L-citrulline powder to your morning coffee, a cup of tea, or even just a glass of water. The powder is virtually tasteless, so it won't ruin your favorite morning beverage. It just dissolves right in. When you're buying it, look for a reputable brand that sells pure L-citrulline without a bunch of unnecessary fillers or artificial sweeteners. And as I always tell my patients, it is very important to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement. This is especially true if you are currently taking medications for blood pressure, as anything that improves blood flow can have an effect. A quick conversation ensures it's the right choice for you. Now, remember my patient, Robert? This simple coffee habit, this was the spark that changed everything for him. But the real magic happened when he understood that L-citrulline works in synergy with a healthy foundation. Synergy, that's a key word here. Adding this to your coffee will not overcome a poor diet and a lifestyle with no exercise. It is an amplifier. It is not a magic bullet. It takes the good things you are already doing and makes them work even better. For Robert, starting his day with this nutritional support gave him a sense of control and hope. It was the small win that motivated him to take a walk every day. And he discovered a great synergy. He found that taking his L-citrulline about 30 minutes before his daily walk gave him an even bigger boost in circulation and energy. It's a small tweak, but it made a world of difference for him. It was the combination of fueling his body correctly and then putting that fuel to use. It's about giving your body the right tools to do its job. And if you believe in the power of nutrition to provide that fuel, let me know you're with me. Go down to the comments right now and write the word fuel, alright. So we've established that L-citrulline is an incredibly powerful tool for refueling your body's nitric oxide production. But as I mentioned with my patient, Robert, that tool is only as good as the foundation it's built upon. It's an amplifier, not a magic bullet. So let's move into our second section now. We're going to talk about that foundation. To make that L-citrulline truly work, to get the absolute most out of it, you need to build the house it stands on. In my practice, I've found that this house is built on 4 non-negotiable pillars of health. Let's break them down one by one. Pillar number 1, movement is medicine. The first pillar is daily, moderate exercise. And I want to be very specific here. I'm talking about something as simple and accessible as brisk walking. Now, here is the critical mistake that paralyzes so many men. They hear the word exercise, and their mind immediately jumps to images of 20-year-olds lifting heavy weights at a loud gym or runners training for a marathon. For a man over 60, perhaps with aching knees or a busy schedule, that can be incredibly intimidating. So they fall into the all-or-nothing trap. They think, if I can't do that, then I might as well do nothing. And that mistake costs them dearly. So why is something as simple as walking so powerful? It's because it directly addresses the root of the issue. Walking at a brisk pace increases your heart rate, which improves circulation and blood flow throughout your entire body. Not just your heart, not just your legs, but everywhere. It also helps to naturally support healthy testosterone levels and reduce stress, both of which are crucial for optimal performance. It is, quite literally, a full body tune-up. And the science on this is overwhelming. The American Heart Association has published mountains of data, study after study, showing that just 30 minutes of walking a day can dramatically improve overall cardiovascular health. And you must understand this fundamental truth: cardiovascular health is erectile health. They are 2 sides of the same coin. A healthy heart and flexible blood vessels are the prerequisites for strong performance. To put this simply, I want you to think of your circulatory system like a river. Sitting all day, being sedentary, is like a river becoming a stagnant pond. The water gets murky, things build up, and nothing flows. But walking is what keeps the current moving. It keeps the river flowing freely, delivering fresh oxygen and vital nutrients to every single part of your body, exactly where they need to go. So how do you put this into practice? It is so much simpler than you think. Just 30 minutes a day. That's it. You can put on your sneakers right after breakfast and walk around the block a few times. You can listen to a podcast, some music, or just enjoy the quiet. The goal here is consistency, not intensity. A consistent daily walk will always beat a grueling, sporadic workout at the gym. This was the second step for my patient, Robert. The daily L-citrulline in his coffee gave him the biochemical support and the mental boost he needed to start. And the walk gave him the physical momentum. He started to feel the blood flowing again. He started to feel more energy. The 2 worked together, creating a powerful upward spiral. Pillar number 2, eat for strength. Alright, the second pillar is all about the fuel you put into your body. We need to eat for strength and vitality. Specifically, by focusing on adding more greens like spinach, more antioxidant-rich berries, and more healthy fats from sources like salmon, avocados, and olive oil. Now, the mistake here is almost identical to the exercise mistake. Men hear diet and they immediately think of deprivation. They imagine complicated meal plans, bland foods, and giving up everything they enjoy. This restrictive mindset is why 90% of diets fail. The goal is not deprivation, it is fortification. We are adding good things in, not just taking bad things out. So why do these specific foods work so well? Because they are packed with natural compounds that protect and support your blood vessels. Leafy greens are rich in natural nitrates, which your body can also convert into nitric oxide. Berries are loaded with antioxidants called flavonoids, which fight inflammation and protect the delicate lining of your arteries from damage. And healthy fats, like omega-3 south from salmon, help keep your blood vessels flexible and prevent plaque buildup. These foods are a support crew for your entire circulatory system. And the scientific proof for this is rock solid. Countless studies on the Mediterranean diet, which is built around these exact foods, consistently link it to superior cardiovascular outcomes and significantly lower rates of erectile dysfunction. A landmark 2020 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association confirmed that men who most closely followed this way of eating had far better vascular health as they aged. Here's the analogy I want you to remember. Think of your blood vessels as the highways of your body. Processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats are like constant heavy trucks that create potholes, cracks, and traffic jams on these highways. But foods like spinach, berries, and salmon? They are the road repair crew. They come in every day to patch the potholes, clean up the debris, and ensure that traffic, in this case, your blood, flows smoothly and quickly without any obstructions. So, how do you apply this without feeling overwhelmed? You start small. You don't need to change everything overnight. This week, try adding one simple thing, a large handful of spinach to your morning eggs or a smoothie. Or swap your usual afternoon snack of cookies or chips for a bowl of fresh berries. That's it. One small, positive change. For Robert, this was a huge piece of the puzzle. His lab work showed high cholesterol, which was a clear sign of those potholes in his highways. By focusing on adding these powerful foods, he wasn't just supporting blood flow, he was actively helping his body repair itself. He noticed he had more sustained energy for his walks and he just felt cleaner. It's the synergy, you see? The food provides the building blocks for repair, and the walking helps deliver those building blocks everywhere they need to go. Pillar number 3, the power of sleep. Alright, let's talk about our third pillar. This one is so often overlooked in our busy, modern world. I'm talking about getting consistent, high-quality sleep. Specifically, aiming for 7 to 8 hours every single night. Now, the critical mistake I see ambitious, hardworking men make all the time is viewing sleep as a luxury, rather than a biological necessity. They wear their lack of sleep like a badge of honor. They say things like, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," or "I can get by on 5 hours just fine." They believe that cutting back on sleep is a way to be more productive. But in reality, it is an act of biological self-sabotage. You are not gaining an edge, you are giving it away. So why is sleep so fundamentally important for men's vitality and performance? Because sleep is when your body does its most important repair and maintenance work. It's during those deep sleep cycles that your body produces and regulates its most critical hormones, including testosterone. Testosterone is the primary male sex hormone, and it is essential for libido, energy, muscle mass, and erectile function. When you consistently shortchange your sleep, you are directly disrupting the assembly line that produces this vital hormone. Less sleep means less testosterone. It's a direct and unavoidable consequence, and the science on this is crystal clear and frankly, quite alarming. A widely cited study from the University of Chicago looked at healthy young men and restricted their sleep to just 5 hours per night for 1 week. Just 1 week. At the end of that week, their testosterone levels had plummeted by 10 to 15%. To put that in perspective, that's the equivalent of aging them 10 to 15 years in 7 days. This provides powerful, undeniable evidence that sleep deprivation has a rapid and devastating impact on the hormones that govern a man's vitality. So let's use a simple analogy here. Think of your body like a high-performance workshop that has two shifts. There's the day shift, where you're active, working, and using up resources. And then there is the night shift, which is sleep. The night shift is when the maintenance crew comes in. They clean the machinery, they restock all the shelves with vital supplies, and they repair everything that was worn down during the day. If you keep cutting the night shift short, what happens? The machinery breaks down. The shelves become empty. The entire workshop becomes chaotic and inefficient. Your testosterone production, that's one of the most important machines in your workshop. Without a full night shift to service it, its output is going to suffer dramatically. So, how can you start to improve your sleep starting tonight? The key is to create a simple, relaxing pre-sleep routine. About an hour before your desired bedtime, turn off the news. Put away the phone and the computer. The blue light from those screens tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which disrupts the production of melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. Instead, read a book, listen to some calming music, take a warm shower. The goal is to send a clear signal to your body and mind that the day is over and it's time to power down. For my patient Robert, this was a game changer. He was in the habit of watching stressful news right up until he turned out the light. He would then lie in bed, his mind racing. Once he replaced that habit with 30 minutes of reading, he found he was falling asleep faster and waking up feeling genuinely refreshed. And here is the synergy. The deep, restorative sleep allowed his body to optimize its hormone levels. This gave him more energy for his daily walks. And the daily walks, in turn, helped him sleep even more soundly at night. Each pillar supports the others. Pillar number 4, taming stress. Alright, that brings us to our fourth and final pillar. This is the one that deals with the mind, and it is just as important as the others. We have to talk about taming chronic stress. I'm talking about finding a simple, daily practice to manage your mental load. Whether it's a few minutes of quiet mindfulness, spending time on a hobby, or simply sitting in nature. The mistake, and it's a very common one, especially for men of a certain generation, is to ignore mental health completely. It has the tendency to believe that stress is just something you have to tough out. You bottle it up, you push through, and you never really address the biological storm that's raging inside your body. This approach doesn't make you strong, it just makes you a pressure cooker. So, why is chronic, unmanaged stress such a wrecking ball for erections and male vitality? Because of a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. In a short-term, dangerous situation, it's very useful. It gives you a burst of energy to deal with a threat. But when you are in a state of constant, low-grade stress from work, finances, or family worries, your body is marinating in cortisol day in and day out. And cortisol is the direct enemy of everything you want. It suppresses testosterone production. It constricts your blood vessels, directly counteracting the effects of nitric oxide. And it puts your body into a state of fight or flight, which shuts down non-essential systems. And from a biological perspective, your reproductive system is considered non-essential in a moment of crisis. The science on this is absolutely concrete. A 2021 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Men's Health reviewed dozens of studies and found a powerful and consistent correlation between high cortisol levels and an increased risk of erectile dysfunction. The conclusion was clear: a stressed mind leads to a stressed body, and a stressed body cannot perform at its peak. So let's use one final analogy. Think of your nervous system as having two different modes. There's the rest and digest mode, which is calm and relaxed. And there's the fight or flight mode, which is for emergencies. An erection can only happen in the rest and digest mode. Chronic stress is like a faulty alarm system that is stuck in the on position. The alarm is constantly blaring fight or flight, flooding your system with cortisol. As long as that alarm is ringing, the rest and digest system, which is where performance happens, simply cannot come online. Taming stress is about learning how to turn off that faulty alarm. So, how can you practically do this? You start with just 5 minutes. That's all. Find a quiet place where you can sit down, close your eyes, and focus on one thing: your breathing. Feel the air come in and feel the air go out. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently bring your focus back to your breath. That's it. This simple act of mindfulness is like a reset button for your nervous system, turning off the alarm and allowing your body to shift back into that calm, rest, and digest state. This was the final piece of the puzzle for Robert. He realized how much of his day was spent worrying. By starting each morning with just 5 minutes of quiet breathing right after his coffee, he set a calmer tone for the entire day. He told me it felt like he was finally able to get out of his own way. And the synergy was profound. Lowering his cortisol allowed his testosterone to rebound. It made his blood vessels more responsive to the nitric oxide he was supporting with L-citrulline. And it allowed him to be truly present and relaxed with his wife. Every pillar, the L-citrulline. The walking, the food, the sleep, and the stress management, they all work together. They are a team. And when you get them all working for you, the results can be truly transformative.
All right, let's bring it all together now. Today, we learned that the key to stronger, more reliable performance isn't some complicated secret. It's healthy blood flow, which is powered by nitric oxide. And we learned that you can support this entire system by providing your body with the right fuel, like L-citrulline, and by building a solid foundation on those 4 pillars: movement, nutrition, sleep, and stress control. But I don't want this to just be interesting information. I want this to be a transformation for you. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for this week. I call it the 7-day vitality prescription. First, today, order some L-citrulline powder online. It's affordable, it's easy to find, and it's a powerful first step. Second, tomorrow morning, schedule a 30-minute walk into your calendar. Treat it like an important doctor's appointment that you cannot miss. And third, for the next 7 days, commit to adding just 1 green vegetable to your dinner every single night. That's it. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. I'm too tired. Or, is this really going to work for me? And when you feel that doubt, I want you to remember Robert. He started with 1 simple step, adding something to his morning coffee. That's all. The energy and the hope that came from that 1 small victory are what built the momentum for everything that followed. Real, lasting change doesn't come from giant, overwhelming leaps. It comes from small, consistent steps, repeated over time. Trust the process. And listen. This isn't just about improving performance in the bedroom. This is about reclaiming your sense of vitality. It is about having the energy and the confidence to be the husband, the partner, and the man you want to be. It's about showing up in the world with strength. Your health is the absolute foundation of your freedom and your independence. Every day you wait is a day you are not investing in your most valuable asset. So if you are ready to take that first step with me, if you are committed to making a change, I want you to go down to the comments right now and write 2 simple words. Day 1. This is your public commitment to yourself. And be sure to hit that subscribe button, because you are now part of a community of men who are taking control of their health. Let's support each other on this journey. Thank you for investing your time with me today. In the next video, we'll be talking about the 3 worst foods for testosterone that might be hiding in your kitchen right now. You will not want to miss it. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that your health is your greatest asset. Take care of it.